Hey guys, how you doing? It's me, Jack, and today I'm talking about stuff. So you probably recognise this gameplay if you've seen the M40 beat video that I put up a couple of days ago. If you haven't seen it, you can click the link there, and it's got some nice head shoots in it. It's got some nice music, bit of a chilled out video. Check it out. It's a nice 35 kill streak, so if you want to see some intense sniping, then go and watch that. But this is the full gameplay here. I promised that I would post it, so here it is. You can watch this as I'm speaking and watch me miss a million M40 A5 shots. But there we go. So a couple of announcements. The JackFrags server is now available, which is awesome. It's on Battlelog. All you have to do is type in JackFrags into the search filter and it should come up. It should be the only server that's called that. You can get the link in the description to this video as well if you can't be asked to search for it. So there it is down there. Favourite the server, play on it. It's there for you guys. It's 64 players and it's going to run like in my opinion what the best maps are in Battlefield 3 anyway. So the crappy maps, the ones that aren't so good, won't be on there. Also, it's not going to have like a ridiculous ticket count, like 1,000 tickets. Like, come on, I think people prefer variety when they're playing games rather than just slogging through 1,000 tickets. So it's going to have like a normal ticket count, normal rules, and it's just going to be a bit of fun. We're going to use it for community events where you guys can come and play with us. We're going to use it for just random public play. We might just go on there if we fancy some Battlefield, whatever. But we'll also be using it for filming sometimes, and when it's used for filming, it will be passworded. So if you see it and you can't get on it and it's passworded, that's because I'm using it for something and I'm probably filming. So just wait until it's not passworded anymore, and the title will change back as well. So when I'm filming, it'll change to filming. So yeah, just to give you a heads up if you want to come on and that's the case. So the server, yeah, go and play on it right now. I was going to talk about the Battlefield 3 trailers as well. So I went back and I watched all of the Battlefield 3 trailers. So like the first one, and like the Strike at Karkand one, and for the new DLC, the Caspian Border trailer. And I was just like completely blown away. Like, even though I'd seen them so many times and I've watched them again and again, when you watch it back, it's just like, wow, it just makes me want to just go and play Battlefield. Obviously, that's the point of it. It's designed to sell the game, but they're just very well put together. So I looked into it a little, and I found out the guy who makes the trailers. He's called Roland Smedberg. I hope I pronounced that right. And he works at DICE, obviously. His alias in game is Roly the Poly, so you might have seen that in some of the gameplay trailers. He obviously records like his point of view when they're doing playtests or whatever, and puts it together into a trailer. But apart from the gameplay as well, you've also got some cinematic stuff in there, and it's just epic. Like, seriously, this guy just makes amazing trailers. He has a website which is epicbubble.com. Go and check that out. It's got like all his Battlefield stuff on there. So he did like stuff for 2142, for Bad Company 2, the Vietnam expansion pack as well. He's also got like a lot of real life videos, like live action stuff, which are just like really good. Just go and check him out, and go and send him some love as well. His Twitter is Roly the Poly, so send him some love and say, dude, thanks for making epic trailers and making us want to buy the next Battlefield 3 game, because you know that's what they do. And you know, it got me really pumped up for the DLC as well, because Close Quarters, I know it's a bit controversial. A lot of people are like, oh, it's not Battlefield, it's not the same thing. Well, you know what, people always have a choice. You don't have to play on those maps, but you know, I really love that sort of that style of gameplay, very close quarters. Being like a Counter-Strike player for so many years, that's where you know, I have the most fun. Plus, you've got like basically everything looks destructible in those maps that they're bringing out in the Close Quarters DLC. So it's going to be pretty hectic to play in those sort of games. And also, it got me thinking about, you know, potential ideas for new short movies, because it's a very small interior environment where everything blows up, so it looks pretty cool. So I've been drafting out some ideas for movies for the new maps as well. Obviously I haven't got to play the new maps yet, but you know, it just made me wish, and it made me want Battle Recorder so bad. Watching those trailers, I was just like, damn, why can't we have Battle Recorder? But I don't think we will ever get Battle Recorder. But at the same time, it's nice to imagine the possibilities if the video community got hold of something like that, because this roly-the-poly guy, obviously, he's very good at making trailers, and you know, the stuff that I make wouldn't be anywhere near as good as what he does, because he's a professional. But you know, I'm jealous that he gets to use it, or he gets to make trailers that good. I'm jealous of his work, because he's very, very good. But yeah, Battle Recorder. I wish we had it. I don't think we'll ever get it though. Never mind. Yeah, and you also, if you watch some of the trailers back, you also see things that didn't make it into the game. So there's like different HUDs and different weapon varieties. Some of the textures on the vehicles are different. Some of the character models are different. So it's sort of cool to go and watch that back and see what stuff used to look like and how it's changed through the development of the game, and you can see what it looks like now. But yeah, anyways, enough about that. So I was going to talk about dreams as well. Like, I just thought it would be interesting to have a discussion about it in the comments. Like, what do you guys dream about? You know, is it always stuff that you wish would have happened, or stuff that you regret or you don't regret doing? You know, what do you dream about? Do you have recurring dreams that stick in your head? I don't have a recurring dream anymore, but I do have a couple of places that I dream about that come up again and again. When I was young, I did have a recurring dream though, and I mean, this was when I was really young, like 6 or 7 years old, and it kicked off when I walked in on my parents having sex. No, they weren't having sex. I walked in on my parents watching Stephen King's It. So that's about the scary clown. Like, it's quite an old movie now. I think it came out in the 80s. But if you haven't seen it, it's basically a clown with really sharp teeth, and he turns into a motherfucking spider at the end, and it just starts going mental. But I saw that as a like 6 or 7 year old, and for the next few years I would have this recurring dream where I was in my bedroom and I would look out the window, because my room when I was growing up, I don't live there anymore, but when I was growing up I had like a big window that looked out onto the street, and I would have this dream where the clown from It was massive and he was coming down the street, and eventually he'd come up to my window and look into my window, and you could see like sharp teeth and everything. And I would just try to hide like underneath the covers of my bed, but he would always get me. He'd just reach into my room and get me, and then I would wake up. And I had that recurring dream for several years, but obviously I don't have it anymore because I'm 25 years old. There's also this epic dream that I had when I was about 19, 20 years old, and it always sticks in my head, and I don't think I'll ever forget this dream. I don't know why, because I forget a lot of my dreams. I wake up and I think about it and then they're just gone. But this one in particular, I remember it very vividly. And I'm sure you guys have something like that as well. One dream in particular that you always remember and you think about it sometimes. But I was in my old house. Again, when I dream, it's always in the house that I grew up in. I never dream about the house that I live in now. Even though I've lived here for like 5 or 6 years, I always dream about my childhood house, which I lived in until I was about 18 when I went to university. But in this dream, I wake up and I go down the stairs into the kitchen, and my kitchen had like a window which you could see out into the garden. and the sink was by the window. And I go to grab the kettle to make some tea, because that's what you do in England. You go downstairs first thing in the morning, you put the kettle on, you have some tea, right? And I go over to the sink and I fill the kettle up with water. And outside, at the top of the garden, I see a black cat run across the garden. And for some reason it really intrigues me in this stream. So I go to put the kettle down and I turn it on so the water starts boiling. I walk through the living room and then out of the patio doors. So the garden that we had when I was growing up had like 2 levels. It had lower level, then a higher level, which you had to walk up to. And it was quite a long garden. It wasn't really that wide, but it was quite long. And I walk up onto the second level to see what this cat was about, because we didn't have a black cat at the time. We had a ginger cat that we called Fat Cat. Rest in peace. He's dead now, but he was the most awesome cat ever. But I saw this black cat in the dream. So I go to the top of the garden and I hear a noise behind me, and I turn around and look up into the sky, and I see like a space shuttle, just like a classic NASA space shuttle, not sci-fi or anything. And it's quite close to me, but it's still quite high up in the air, but it looks quite big. And it's speeding up into the air, then it slows down, and it sort of tilts, so it's horizontal, and then it explodes. And again, this is like really vivid, and as it explodes, all these like meteors, like these rocks and shards of it come falling down to the ground in front of me, like do, like getting closer to me, and they're like red and orange and they look really hot, and they stop right in front of me. So I kneel down and I go to pick one of these stones up, and it looks really hot, but I pick it up anyway, and when I pick it up, it's freezing cold. So even though it looks like it's going to burn my hand, it's not. It's freezing cold. So I'm kneeling down and I look at this thing in my hand, and there's like steam coming off it, and then I see something out the corner of my eye above the houses, and I look up into the sky, and there's just like a massive fleet of like sci-fi spaceships that have just appeared. You know, like they sort of look like the ones out of Halo or like Battlestar Galactica. These massive spaceships just like flying over the houses, and like this epic music just starts playing randomly. So my head starts playing this music, and there's these spaceships flying over, and I'll just remember it very clearly, very vividly. That was probably the most epic dream I've ever had, and describing it probably sounds really boring and like, Jack, what have you been smoking? But yeah, that, I mean, one day if I ever get ridiculously good at like CGI or video editing, I'll make that dream like as a video. Maybe one day I will get to that level, but yeah, if I do, then that's the sort of thing that I will recreate that dream. So have you guys ever had like an epic dream like that, where you don't forget it just sticks in your head forever? If you have, let me know in the comments. Tell me about your dreams, even the sexy ones, guys. Okay, right? If they've got Scarlett Johansson in, tell me about it. But anyways, I think that's probably enough rambling for today. So like and favourite the video, guys. Remember to join the JackFrags Battlefield 3 server, and I will see you in the next video.